It's a Halloween collaboration organised by Claire Crafty Corner. I don't usually do spooky, but I think this time I nailed it. Ha! Yay, another collaboration, and this is a Halloween collaboration. Spooky times. Thank you so much, Claire, for organising another amazing collaboration. I'm so looking forward to seeing what everybody else has made. And just to let you know, there's going to be a playlist, and the link is going to be in the description. So make sure you check all of the amazing and creative souls taking part on this collaboration, because there's going to be all sorts of things, all sorts of things going on. So make sure you check them out. But in this video, I'm going to make a clay pumpkin. I'm going to be using air dry clay, and I'm going to be using a technique that is called pinch pot. Back in July, I went to a course. It was like a course to make a cosmic owl organized by my very, very, very talented sister-in-law. And we made the cosmic owl. How cute is this? I can't believe I made this. And that is made using the technique of the pinch pot. And the principle is that you basically shape the clay into a ball, and then you put your thumb in the middle and you pinch it. You basically push it down and towards the edges, and you pinch the edges of the clay, making a ball, and you smooth it as you go along and then shape it. And then you make two of them. You make sure you basically lock them together with clay, and you smooth it all really, really well, so then the air gets trapped inside, and then you shape the ball the way you want, and job done. So that's my plan. I'm gonna try to make a pumpkin using that technique. I know the theory. Whether I'm gonna be any good, that's a completely different story. But bear with me, stay with me, and I will be making, hopefully, this time I'm planning to make spooky, very spooky pumpkins. And if you know me by now, I don't really do spooky, so that's going to be a challenge. Stay with me to see if I succeed in the spooky challenge. But let me show you the materials. Right, first of all, I'm going to be using air dry clay. Not all of this. But yeah, this clay is really, really nice, and it's reinforced with nylon fibers, something like that. But yeah, it's really good. So I'm going to be using that. Then I've invested on some shaping tools. And because we did have a family day playing with clay and making pumpkins, I bought loads. But they're really cheap on Amazon, and they are really good. And then you will also need, apologies for my very filthy craft knife. A craft knife, because I'm planning to cut out the face of the pumpkin. So you'll need a craft knife to cut it out. And then, I've got this to cut the clay, but you don't really need it. You can just grab it, whatever. These beans to help you smooth the clay. And oh my God, these little palettes. Yes, because there will be a lot of slapping, clay slapping. This is fun. And then, as I'm going to be using the pumpkins for incense burning, I have these little glass plates. They, again, from Amazon, and they come in a box of 6. But also, because, as I said, I want to make them spooky, and I want a spooky effect. So the incense is going to just like create a lot of smoke. But, you know, if you just do the smoke inside the pumpkin, you're really not going to have that spooky effect. So I've invested on these tiny little lights. Oh my God, look how cute they are. They're so tiny. They're tiny but mighty. Have a look at this. So if you release the little safety thing, and then see how powerful they are? Oh my God, these are going to be perfect. And you can turn them off, and you can actually stick this back on and then turn it so you don't use the battery. That's brilliant. But what I want like a warm color. So I'm going to be putting a dot of hot glue on top. I've experimented and this is the only kind of safest thing. But the only thing I'm going to do is just literally a dot on top of the light. And then I'm going to brush it with a little bit of orange mica powder. So then it's going to have that warm glow. Then I found on Pinterest a lot of inspiration to cut the faces on the pumpkins, and I printed it off. So this is what I'm going to use to just as a reference for the faces that I'm going to be cut on the pumpkin. I'm very, very excited. And so I'm going to stop faffing about and I'm going to crack on with it. But before I do, let me remind you that my jumpers, 55% cotton, 45% polyester. So they're thin jumpers. This is the biggest size that you can get, triple XL. They're all available on my website. So you might want to check it out, together with loads of little bits and bobs for you to check out. But zip it, shut up, and let's crack on with it. And let's make a pumpkin. I'll see you later. I find working with clay so relaxing, and so did my family when we did our clay day. It was so much fun. It was great. So first thing that you do, you condition the clay just to make it a little bit smoother and softer to play with. Then you're turning into a ball by slapping the clay. It takes a little bit of time, but you'll get there. Don't give up. Once you have your ball, the first thing you do, you just press your thumb inside and then pinch the sides just to make them thinner and create a ball. Don't make it too thin, but just press and pinch. So then you can, once you're happy with the thickness basically, but don't do it too thin. And then you keep smoothing it. Make sure you smooth the inside as well and there's no cracks. And my clay, unfortunately, is so old, it was cracking everywhere. And then what I did, I make another one, and the principle is the same. You slap the clay to make it into a ball, and then you just pinch it. Once you created the two halves, you need to attach them together. And the way you attach them together is by basically just pressing the clay either up or down. This step is very important because you need to make sure that you seal the sphere that you're creating really, really well, because what you're doing, you're trapping the air inside, which is going to enable you to then shape what you've made as you want it. And as you can see, I'm pressing it down to just give it a round shape. My clay was cracking because I think it just lost the moisture because it was really, really old. And then after I did this, I just got my bag and soaked it into water, which probably I should have done it before. But you can add clay, and what I could have done and I didn't, you can create a coil of clay and wrap it when the two balls are joining. And so that makes 100% sure that is like nice and sealed. And once it's sealed, you can start shaping it. As you can see, I'm slapping it to trying to make a round kind of pumpkin-y shape. At this point, I was happy with the shape, so I started pressing at the top to give it more of a pumpkin shape. And then with one of the tools, I started scoring the sides to make the pumpkin sections. I don't know, I'm gonna call it like that. I go with that. And just turn it into a proper pumpkin. With this clay it was a little bit of a struggle, and as I said, I should have like reintroduced moisture into the clay, but hey ho, it kind of worked. And once I scored it, I also then carried on and smooth it with my hands and the tools just to make um the lines that I've done just blend in a little bit better. It takes time, but if you take your time and just do it's worth it. And it is so relaxing. It's just so relaxing. I absolutely loved it. And just feeling the clay is just, it's the best feeling ever. And then, as I said, because it was cracking, I just start adding some clay just to give it the shape that I wanted and smooth it with your hands. Oh my God, it's so satisfying. It's so cool. Really, really cool. Once I finish with this pumpkin, I just let it rest and dry a little bit. And then I tried a kind of different, no, it's not a different technique, but it's just a slightly different way to make a pumpkin. So instead of creating two halves, I saw somebody just using one half and then closing the top. But with this technique, you just need to make sure that every time you close it, you smooth it and just make sure that there are no cracks. And you just carry on closing it and trapping the air until you have the shape that you want. Again, I was having trouble with my clay cracking, so it was a little bit challenging, but I think I managed. And let me know if you like the result, because I think I was happy. And but yeah, it took a little bit of an effort, and obviously it takes time. But it's just the feel of the clay is just so nice. And then you smooth it and you just make something. It's just like, whoa, did I just make that? Yes, you did. And then I didn't cut the top bit. I just left it long and then just used it as the stalk and twisted it a little bit. And that was it. And then I created another pumpkin. And again, I just added more clay just to make sure that there was no cracks and I didn't lose any air trapped inside. This is a process that you can probably go on forever smoothing your clay, but there's something about it. It's so satisfying. I think the smoothing and everything, it's just like, I think I went on working on the clay for about a couple of hours. But yeah, you don't even realize how long it takes you. And then I got a sharp tool just to do the drawings of where I was gonna cut. I did get a little bit of inspiration. I wanted one eye bigger than the other, but then I just messed it up and I had to redo the other eye. Yeah, there we go. Off you pop. And then you just need like a knife or something to just cut the holes. What you could do on here, I cut the holes straight after I made the pumpkin, but even if you wait for a day, you will still be able to cut the clay, because it is they call it leather dry. But yeah, you can still, if instead of cutting it straight away, you can wait until 24 hours and it would be absolutely fine, because it will take a long time for the clay to dry. To fully dry, it took a week for both pumpkin to be dry fully, or at least to be at a stage where I could have used them. So I think we still got a little bit of time for Halloween if you were to make one or two, or if, like me, you get obsessed, you just make more. After 24 hours, then I cut the holes at the bottom. The reason for this is just because after 24 hours is what I was saying, like leather dry. You can still work the clay. So if you want to smooth some bits or do something, you still can. And as you can see, you can cut the clay, but it's harder and it keeps the shape better. Oh my god, the pumpkins are ready. Oh, have a look at these. What do you reckon? I have to say, they could have been smoother, but I quite like it because they just give it like a spooky effect. And I don't know why, but I had problems with the clay because it was cracking a lot. I could sand them down and just make them smoother, but I quite like the effect. So I'm happy with that. I know it looks a little bit messy at the bottom, but I'm happy. And the effect that I want to create is going to be in the dark, so you're not really going to see it. But I'm happy with the shape and I'm happy on the way it turned out. And even the little one, oh my God, they were both so much fun to make. That I made them with the family as well, and they created amazing things. And I'm gonna show you on at the end on the glamour shots, like the pumpkins that my husband and my bonus daughter have made as well. But I'm really happy with this. They turned up really cool. Let's just hope that they work. Let's do the little dot of glue on the little light. So I've got my I have my mica powder, I have my little brush, and I have my hot glue. Let's do it. Ta-da! So now I've got my light with the warm color, with the orange light. Look at this. All orangey. Oh, that's so cool. I'm so excited. So what's left to do now is just to set up the scene and just do the glamour shot. But I've got my incense. I bought a massive pack of a lot of different flavors, and this is vanilla. Oh my God, that smells amazing. Just safety warning. Just make sure that you do not burn the incenses directly onto your table. One is going to ruin the table because as the incense burns, it releases all the essential oils. Hence the reason why I've invested on this. Although these incenses, they do come with a little plate, but it's a little bit thin. And so I would just be extra careful and never leave them burning unattended. But before I'll show you the effect, which I'm really excited about, I would like to remind you that this is a collaboration and there's a playlist and the link is in the description, and there's a lot of amazing creative souls making amazing stuff. So please make sure you check it out. And also, if you have enjoyed this video, why not give me the thumbs up? It really helps my channel to grow. And also subscribe, because there's going to be more. And now that I have my own online shop, there's going to be more stuff coming. One of the things that is going to be available now is my little pumpkin stickers. They're all holographic and there's about 21 in the pack. Goes without saying that it's too cute to spook. So you're going to have a thank you card with a handwritten message from me, and then you're gonna have all of these stickers. As I said, too cute to spook. I struggle to do spooky, so there we go. That's what you're gonna get, and they're all gonna be available on my website. But now I shut up and I'll let you see the final result. It's exciting. Thank you so much for watching. Take care for now. Ciao, ciao.